Hello guys, we are amped to be sharing with you today our acrylic debris and asteroids, perfectly compatible with Star Wars X-Wing, and I must say other kind of space skirmish games and even some role-playing games, because I've been in spaceships during role-playing games before.
Really?
And I have always wanted some kind of like nice pieces to use in that scenario.
I've always wanted to be in a spaceship.
Yeah.
I haven't achieved that yet.
Well, everybody does. Tesla's working on it. We got people on that.
Hopefully we'll be there.
Let's talk about these. First of all, we have our asteroids on clear acrylic. They have a white paint fill. They are engraved on one side. And here's the key to these. There's a lot of keys to these.
There are keys.
First is that they are perfectly flippable, which is important.
That's important. You don't think about it until you're holding this shape right here, and it's like, oh, you put the rock down, but like, if it wasn't transparent or see-through, you can't flip it over and also still see the design.
It's important. Yeah. So, and actually, I like them better flipped, and more importantly, I like the entire thing kind of half flipped, half not flipped, because it actually creates like this little
depth.
We call it the Z-axis. Where I come from, the Z-axis.
Math man over here.
There's a lot of, so you kind of get this up and down feel where some look a little bit under, some are a little bit over, and that's really cool. So both the asteroids and the debris are flippable, which means you have full variation of the way that those shapes are going to present.
Absolutely.
The second thing is...
There's more?
It's like I'm telling you all this. Zach already knows. He helped to develop this product. Is that every one of these pieces was designed for the shape, not, I guess, in spite of the shape. So a lot of times you'll see designs or asteroids that are just kind of like a rocky texture that appears to be cut out of basically like a flat
if you had a
texture.
print of a rocky texture and then you cut these shapes out, that's what you would get.
Or like,
that is not what this is, right?
You know, if you're making cookies.
Sugar cookies,
As
classic.
we say,
That's the analogy.
You can either lay out all your dough and then cut it all out, which we didn't do, or you can have all of your little your cutouts, your little molds, and then you just put the cookies in them. And that's what we did. We put them right in there. So
it's like, once you have the cookie, then you put the design on top of it, right? You
Right.
have the shape, you have like the gingerbread man, and then you put the design on it. I don't know why I'm in Christmas, but sugar cookies, I guess. Anyways,
Christmas.
in this case, right, like and speaking of the shapes, we'll get to the accuracy in just a second, my favorite topic of all. But
very exciting.
Once you have the shape, you then design to that.
You design to the shape
and look cool, which is what these are.
Yeah, and that makes it to where all of the things that are jutting out, all of the weird things, like the weird shapes, the rocks and the debris are actually fitting into those spaces to make it look way more realistic and way more appropriate for the table. So that is one of my favorite things about this set as well. Also,
there's more.
There's more. So a lot of you guys have invested in really nice space mats. This is one that we had printed up a little while back for our personal uses. And the thing about having both the transparent light green debris and the clear transparent, obviously clear is transparent, it's kind of hard to have like a solid clear.
Yeah, it is
asteroids is that you can actually see your starscape shining through these pieces.
Yeah, like you can see here.
So when you throw them on the board, you actually still get to retain some of that detail in your starscape, and that's really important because it really sets the scene. Sometimes you're on a background that doesn't accept like just a big black blob or a big gray blob. So it's nice to be able to see some of that color, some of those starbursts continuously shine.
I think it's important when you have ships like this that are just stunning and beautiful, and then you have a mat that you've invested in. Some like the Bespin one looks just awesome. I'm hoping for a Hoth one. Anyways, you have all these awesome things, and then it's like you have this just blob of red acrylic on the board, and it's like, that's not cool. When I play X-Wing, like I want everything about it to draw me into the universe, and that's what everything about these is trying to do, which is just the transparency being really key there, to just not be the center of attention, but it needs to be very noticeable because you don't want to not know where a rock is.
Yes, you got to know where the rocks are.
Yeah.
Now, see, here's the thing. When we come into this process, we've had these conversations a lot, and I think a lot of you guys are out there are like us. Whenever, the surprising thing is when we're working on tabletop stuff, we actually can't play as much tabletop stuff as we want to. The sad truth, you always hear, it's like, oh, the basketball coach doesn't ever get to play basketball, those kinds of things. Well, it's actually pretty true. And so you kind of work throughout the day and throughout the week, and you're thinking about lists in your head, you're thinking about what you want to do, how the game's going to play out, you're checking forums, you're checking the Team Covenant blogs, whatever it is.
Making notes on your phone.
And so when it finally comes down to that, like for me, it's Tuesday night. If you finally get to Tuesday night and it's like, I have all these ideas, I just want to experience this game as best I can. I want to pull out the best stuff and just like
you want to be fully immersed,
that
right?
experience.
Yeah.
I mean, if I get an extra 10% from something, like that's a hugely good investment for me. If I get to play like once or twice a week, it's like you bust out all this nice stuff and it just makes that whole experience feel so nice and synergistic, and It's just very important. So that's what we're looking to do with all of our products, particularly these asteroids and debris, just to light that table up and to light that experience on fire.
Yeah, and if you're the kind of player that gets to play a lot, like every night or every week, and you're playing in tournaments and stuff, the other awesome thing about these is that they're completely accurate.
Oh my gosh.
Which is so important, right? It's the same with the templates.
We rode that pony for a long time.
Goodness, you know what? This shape right here is not easy to make accurate. It is a weird shape. It's not just a thing.
You guys ever heard of calipers? You guys know what digital calipers are?
Calipers make your brain go cray.
Get your hands dirty.
But they are completely 100% painstakingly, hours and hours and hours on end, accurate, because they had to be
accurate.
You can't have inaccurate rocks on the field.
Possible.
That's it. It's just a rule.
And the final thing for those tournament players and those of you that are taking these and carrying them around from place to place, they're not going to bend, they're not going to rub off, they're not going to break, those kinds of things. So they're going to stick with you forever. They're going to remain good, and if they ever get a little bit dirty, just wipe them off.
Clean them off. You know, I have my original Thai Advanced style from the first Gen Con, and I still use it with my Vader. But it's like it is so worn down, right? And the asteroids are made of, they come in the box. They're made in cardboard, so they will wear down. And then again, you're just kind of taken out of the universe by this like blank white cardboard shape. Or you can, you know, buy more stuff to get more rocks. But in this case, these are gonna last.
You don't want to be taken out of the universe. Number one rule of gaming.
Number one rule of
never get taken out of the universe.
I want to be in the universe. That's why I'm here at a table with a person instead of at my computer screen.
Well, thanks. Thanks for taking the time, Zach.
Yep, you're welcome.
These are our debris and our asteroids. Again, clear acrylic. We have them engraved and paint filled on one side. We have the light green on the debris. We have the clear on the asteroids. They look great on the table. They will last forever. They really enhance the experience of all of your games. So go check those out on our website. You can find out more information there. And thank you guys so much for watching and for supporting everything that we do. We will continue to do whatever we can to make your gaming experience as good as possible. So stick with us. Thank you.
See you guys.